This is Ashwalkers, a survival journey. I don't know anything about this game, which is kind of par for the course for me. This one was offered to Prime members on Amazon Games for free, and so I downloaded it. And I claim all of those, free games because I love to have access to a big library of games that I can do research on if I need to. I don't usually immediately download and play all of them though, because there's a lot of them and they're kind of, from all over the place. But this particular one stood out to me because it said a survival journey on it, and I make a survival game, and so I felt like, oh, I should see what these people are doing. But I genuinely have no idea what to expect. I haven't seen a trailer of this game. I haven't done anything. So let's find out together. Standard tutorial, yes, absolutely. That was nice and loud for me. I think I need to turn my volume down a little bit. Oh, hey, La Coalición subscribed to my Twitch channel. Thank you, Coalición. Another perk offered with Amazon Prime is that you can subscribe to people. All right, we're zooming in on a map, on an empty part of a map. It's probably not really empty. Day 13, almost 2 weeks ago, the third squad left the Citadel in search of the legendary Dome of Domes. Do I need to click? The squad members, Petra the captain, Sin the warrior, Kali the diplomat, and Nadir the scout, have been picking their way cautiously through the deadly, unbreathable, and ash-filled outside air. Okay, so I can click and hold to skip it step by step. The squad is the last hope of survival for the 200,000 souls of the Citadel. Having crossed the desert canyon of the north, they finally arrived in view of the Ash Plains beacon, a crucial milestone in their search for the legendary refuge. So this feels like it's set somewhere other than the former United States. I'm very used to apocalypse-type stories taking place in sort of my neck of the woods, but from the names of the characters anyway, this feels like it's somewhere else. Okay, so I can move around in the world by left-clicking. I do love the striking visuals of this game. They really stand out. Like, you have no doubt about which game you're playing. I'm seeing little shiny things. You need to help your squad survive bad weather, hostile forces, and the passage of time. Find a resource to gather before carrying on. Okay, so here's a resource. You see resources coming right out of it. Oh, okay, so Petra's exhausted and can't do this action, but if I right-click, somebody else maybe can. So Sin will get some wood. Okay, so there's a bunch of shiny stuff on the ground. So does each of these characters just have, like, limited stamina, and I can only do so many actions with each of them per day? One of the furthest reaches from the Citadel, used by Pathfinders to glean meteorological and cartographical data. One of the beacons containing the data on the Dome of Domes should be located here. So this is the KE-14 outpost, and this is just... Okay, I thought this was going to be like a resource point or something, but it looks like it was just a little storytelling bit. What about here? Savage painting. This painting was produced no more than a few weeks ago. The symbols of brutality and barbarity are depicted with respect. Could this be a warning of dangers to come, or a macabre fascination with the wolf? Oh, I see. All right, we'll keep going on. So far it's got the vibe of a survival game, but also like an adventure game? Like I'm mostly just going around clicking on storytelling things? The beacon. Several days after leaving the Citadel, the squad explores an abandoned outpost. The Pathfinder's information was correct. One of the beacons that will guide them to the Dome of Domes is indeed right here. As Kali starts hacking the beacon's data, Sin keeps a vigilant watch of the outpost's exits, scanning for any potential threats. Meanwhile, Nadir begins preparing the trail the squad will take through the ashes, as Petra uses the radio set to contact the operator. The speaker of the rudimentary radio crackles and hisses before the reassuring voice of the operator is heard. Congratulations on behalf of the Authority. You've reached the first beacon. Now you must decide on your... I can't talk. I haven't been streaming in a week, and so my brain doesn't work anymore. Must decide on your strategy to reach the second beacon. Okay, so the characters all want to do different things with different meanings. So keep moving, plan ahead, and act fast. Every obstacle in your path will be destroyed. We seek to understand the world and prepare ourselves to meet it. We shall be invisible and therefore invincible. I like this guy. I don't know which character that was. It didn't say the names next to their faces. So the squad members favor diplomacy and confidence. With optimism and a belief in his voice, the operator agrees with the plan. At the next wave, the Citadel will collapse. Our hopes lie with you, scouts. Be cunning, be triumphant. The radio signal goes dead, and the squad resumes their determined march. Okay, so yeah. You should set up camp before continuing your expedition. Okay, here's camp. There was... Yeah, there's HUD on the left side, so I'm going to move myself. Oh, there's HUD everywhere. Where can I be? I'll be right here. Okay, the stronger your campfire is, the more efficient your camp activities and resource consumption will be. Add 2 combustibles to the fire to continue. Okay, so that's... Do I, like, drag them? So here's my new fire bit that I got from somebody. Here's a second one. I could go more, but then I would have very little left for the next fire. You need to keep your squad members' levels of satiety? Is that like being satiated? Warmth and energy as high as possible using the meager resources available. If a character runs out of one of these values, they will begin to lose health points. Give Kali a ration to continue. So this is Kali. I think Kali was the one that I was siding with. Is this a ration? Have a ration. Num 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 num. If the health of one of your characters reaches 0, they will die. If 3 squad members die, the game is over. Give Sin some medication to continue. So yeah, he's got some health missing there. So here you go. Here's some medication, Sin. Other camp tasks are available in the scheduling section. Consult your schedule to continue. Okay, let's look at the schedule. Okay, you need energy to gather resources and walk on. Grant Petra a rest to continue. Okay, so Petra's the one who has the low stamina. So Petra gets to rest. So how do I... Okay, so I drag Petra over to rest. So she rests during the first part of the night. A squad member's level of hope improves or reduces the efficiency of their tasks, depending on your choices. Okay, so let these two have a conversation. And then Sin needs to either guard or explore to find resources. I'm betting I want to explore right now. That's going to use up some of Sin's stuff. Okay, yeah, let's confirm this. This has actually reminded me a lot of this War's Mine, even though the perspective is very different. The fact that it's in black and white, and the fact that you have to like carefully choose like who's like how you're going to use your time when you're camping. It is kind of like how you're going to use your time at home during this War of Mine. Nadir says, you have to be careful what you do here, my fresh little recruit. One false move and everything can come crashing down. I don't think that running and hiding are the answer to everything, says Kali. No, that's true, says Nadir. Sometimes things go wrong, but at my age, it's running and hiding that have kept me alive, even though I'm a Pathfinder. Okay, so when you give people conversations, that helps their morale and that helps like stuff that's important to me mechanically. But it also actually gives me little clues to the story. That's actually a pretty good idea. Like trying to like a lot of times, like for instance, I think about in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, I was just never motivated to talk to the side characters and like find out like what their little stories were. I just didn't care because I didn't feel like it mattered that much. I think that you actually could beef them up a little bit by exploring their side stories, but it just always felt like such a distant benefit. I just never engaged with it. It felt like, more lore I have to listen to. But, if there's an immediate benefit to it, like that, then I feel like, oh, I'm motivated to do this thing, and then I get the lore, and I get to have the benefit of the lore without, like, you know, my initial hesitance keeping me from it, which is kind of cool. So anyway, so Sin has returned and brought back some rations and medical supplies. That's good. The rest of the squad members find Petra, mute and covered in dirt, slumped beside 2 fresh graves? What? Petra, why did you go looking for graves? Okay, so time spent carrying out camp tasks diminishes the charges your campfire retains, increases the danger of negative future events, and uses up time. You now know the basics of squad survival. You have to find out the rest for yourself. Good luck. May your squad save the Citadel from destruction. Pack up camp to continue. Okay, so I could continue camping and use up what was left of the fire, but my activities will be more dangerous if I do that. And so they're saying I should actually pack up, douse the fire, and keep going. La Coalition suggests that, you know, these conversations here are kind of like the conversations in State of Decay 2 that unlock traits, except that's not a choice by the player. In fact, the fact that we don't give the player the choice to engage with that is actually one of the problems with that feature that a lot of players don't really enjoy. By the way, you'll notice that as we're going here, my characters are losing all of their stats. So I have to I can't just screw around. I can see something on the horizon, though, that maybe is a possible little destination. So I'm headed that direction. But yeah, so I think that, you know, if we had a mechanic in State of Decay where you could choose to have certain kinds of conversations with characters that could upgrade their stats or give them traits or things like that, then I can see that having a different kind of value. The wolf through the mist. Oh, so that's why there was a wolf painting on the wall. People are saying, hey, yo, there's a wolf. So anyway, we see the silhouette of a wolf. The scrawny beast bares its fangs, growls, and moves to attack. So we can shout to frighten it, run away, attack head on, or light a fire. I'm not going to use up the last of my fire stuff. Let's try to scare it off. Rah, wolf! Rah! Suddenly, it leaps at Kali, slashes her with its claws, then disappears back into the fog. Stunned for a moment, the squad leaves the area as soon as possible. Crap! Well, that was a bad move. Kali's all naive. Everyone's sad. Oh, that wasn't cool. I made the wrong choice. Stevo143 asks, did you ever get sick of talking about State of Decay 2? I mean, sometimes. A little bit, but it's okay. So okay, so if I right click, I can choose from among all these characters. So Nadir is the one with the most stamina. So I'm going to have Nadir collect this wood. And now Kali's the one with the most stamina, so maybe I should have Kali come and collect the wood. So far, this is a choose your own adventure style. Ooh, hey, meat. Yeah, so I had expected that there might be some kind of, like, tactical gameplay. Oh, hey, notice, look. There's only one thing that has color in the game so far, and that's blood on my injured character. Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, yeah, so far all of my decisions have been, like, either, like, sitting down at a campfire making resource decisions, or they've been choose-your-own-adventure type decisions. Okay, there's somebody there. Approach with menace. Approach with peace. Surprise attack. Let's approach in peace. I am Kali all the way with this game. Mostly because I'm really curious if the game is going to endorse Kali's approach or just constantly undermine it. So it's a young savage that greets him with a smile. Kali enters into conversation with him, and the savage invites him to sit and eat with him. Yeah, let's rest with a watch rotation. Let's not just leave ourselves completely vulnerable. So Nadir talks with the savage, but keeps his distance. The savage mentions him a group of savages to the north called the Hound. After the rest, the squad members arise. They all leave without fanfare. Okay, so our stamina's doing well. Seems like that was a good choice. Nothing around here seems to be glowing. So I'm assuming the only things I can interact with are glowy things or things that just seize me when I get close. Dr. Lackenstein says, this art style reminds him of the stuff that they drew as a teenager. Black and white and blood. The Ash Valley. 2 paths open up before the squad. To the west lies a territory inhabited by wild animals, if the tracks in the ash are to be believed. To the east sprawls a cold, rugged, winding valley. I want to go to the east because I can see this, like, tower over there that just seems important. I think that's the kind of thing I've been chasing. So let's go east. The squad decides to enter the winding valley. Nadir assures the rest of the squad that this path is safer because it'll be easier to hide from any threats. Alright, let's go collect some stuff. Okay, our warmth is starting to get low. Sin's warmth specifically is starting to get low. Okay, let's pick up these medical supplies. Next time we camp, Kali's getting some medical supplies. The hunt. The squad crosses a plain broken up with protruding razor-sharp rocks. Suddenly anxious, Sin motions the rest of the squad to stop for a moment. Nadir peers around and assures Sin that there is no danger on the horizon. Let's trust Sin and stop. The squad decides to halt and take shelter for a while. After taking refuge between 2 massive shards of rock, the squad members suddenly see a large and menacing pack of wolves prowling around them in a circle. They're trapped and need to find an escape. Okay. So shouting didn't work last time. Lighting a fire might, but that'll use up all my wood. Will I get to use the fire as a campfire right afterwards, or have I just lost that wood? Now, I think that there's wood available further on, so I might be fine. Let's choose that one this time. The squad decides to burn all of its equipment to ward off the beasts? Wait a minute. I didn't say all of my equipment. Oh, but they still got injured? What? Oh, that feels like it was a horrible choice. But my last choice made me feel like that would have been a better one. Oh, I'm disappointed. Well, now I need to find new wood. I thought I'd seen more wood available in the distance. Oh, here we go. A grim oryx skeleton. The prey did not escape its predators. The skeletal carcass of this poor herbivore has been picked clean and discarded on the sharp rocks of the plain. Oh. Okay. Well, we've got enough for one fire anyway. So Sin is getting pretty cold. Let's go as far as we can, but I think we probably need to camp. I'm just watching that red flame underneath Sin's name. La Coalition is asking, is suggesting that maybe there's some kind of crafting system. Maybe I could craft weapons to give myself a better shot in the next fight. Possibly. I should definitely look around at my options a little bit more once I camp. Let's go over here, collect this one last thing, and then let's camp. Whatever this is. Aha! Okay, good. Nice. Okay, let's actually wait. This looks like an abandoned campfire. Is there some advantage we can get from camping here? A charred journal. The writings of a man on the run from a pack of wolves. He did not live to write a different end to the tale, but his journal miraculously survived the acidity of the air. Okay, so I don't think there's any benefit to setting up camp here over other places, but why not? Okay. So, let's definitely start by making a fire. Let's, make a medium fire. And, oh, wait, no. Actually, let's make a large fire. Because I've still got 2 wood left even after making a large fire. And then, okay, we've got some medical supplies. Kali needs them the most. And it looks like that healed 4 for Kali. So I kind of don't want to use medical supplies on the others, because it feels like a waste that they've only got an injury of 2. Folks are hungry. Sin seems to be the hungriest. Let's definitely feed Sin. And then, let's say, what if I feed Petra? Okay, yeah, so what I don't want to do is fill anyone all the way up. Because I've filled them all the way up, then I'm probably wasting some food benefits. So I'm kind of rationing a little bit. But looks like everybody was hungry enough to have 1 ration, so that's good. Folks are also going to need to rest. Nadir and Petra probably need the most rest, I think. So Lycolision is pointing out that one of these guys is doing what he calls a proper Slavic squat. I've heard that actually squatting like this is a really common way to sit down in a lot of parts of the world that are not the United States. And so like Americans look at this and they're like, "What are you? That looks horrible on your legs. Like, are you going to stay squatting like that all day?" But there are actually like good ways to squat down on your heels that are actually not that tiring. That if you get accustomed to it, can actually be nice and relaxing. There's lots of places in the world where that's just a common way that people sit. But not here. For me, I want my butt on the ground with my legs folded. Anyway, let me see here. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, Steve-O wants to know if I played any more of Nobody Saves the World. No, I didn't, actually. I think the last stream that I did, the last video that I did, basically represents the last time that I played it. And I know that there's more to discover there. There's so many games I have to play that I decided to sort of move on and try other things once I got kind of the point of what that game was about. Okay, so people are definitely going to need to rest. I think that Nadir and Petra need to rest the most. So let's have Petra and Nadir. So I think that I can do a couple different rounds of this stuff. So let's have Kali explore while this guy stands guard. Let's see what happens. Okay, what? Why is Petra just always finding graves? Like, what is Petra's deal? Okay, yeah, so everyone's silent. I didn't have anybody make conversation. But we've still got a medium fire. I think it still makes sense to keep going. Okay, so now the ones who have lots of stamina, I'm going to have Petra and Nadir talk to each other. I'm not sure what these mean. There are these symbols on top of these characters that look like phases of the moon. And I'm not sure what I'm supposed to think about when I see those. Sin is going to stand guard again. Sin has got the most stamina. I'm going to let Kali rest. And let's see how that goes. What do you think of the wind's direction, Captain Aerologist? It's not the wind that worries me. It's the terrain ahead. It looks unstable. Let's take a look at the map. Now, it should be okay. Mainly limestone, solid ground, so long as the rain holds off. I wonder if that's actually a hint. Like, I wonder if that's the thing that will give me useful information later. Oh, Kali is sad. Could that be what the phase of the moon means? Could it mean, like, the morale? Okay, so Petra and Nadir, they've got a waxing moon right now, and they had a waning moon before. They're like a gibbous moon instead of a crescent moon. So that must be their morale. I'm going to guess that that's their morale. I don't know if that is true, but... Okay, yeah, so now I can see the danger is now average. I bet this means there's a 50% chance of some bad thing happening if we do another night tonight. So I think I'm not going to. I think we're going to continue on our journey. Okay, yeah, so a lot of my characters still have blood on them because I decided not to use medical supplies if they only had, a scratch. So I kind of like how they've sort of made this like a sketched looking world. It's like things have shading on them that's just drawn onto them. Like any screenshot of this looks like it was pencil drawn, Some kind of big old house. So wait a minute. I could go that way, but... Okay, yeah, it looks like that's the only way I can go. I tried to click off to the side where it looked like there was an alternate route, but no, there really wasn't one. I think the only alternate routes are just like those explicit fork in the road choices. The mansion. As the squad enters a surprisingly well-conserved ruin, Petra steps on a cable. It's a rudimentary trap which, with a muffled click, locks the front door. There's some people in here. The scouts are locked inside the mansion. The sound of hurried footsteps can be heard in the adjacent room. Okay, I was going to say, can I camp right now? Probably not. I am going to need to camp again fairly soon because I didn't let Sin rest. The Hound. In the corner of the dusty room are at least 24 figures dressed in wolf pelts, observing the squad with spears and bows at the ready. It's difficult to determine the exact level of their hostility. Direct confrontation is risky. The wolf-headed savages await the squad's reaction. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with Kali again. Do not draw weapons. See how this works. The squad decides to play for time. The savages calm down a little. One tall warrior orders the others to lower their weapons. Then he speaks. You stand on the territory of the Hound. If you can prove the valor of your clan, one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat, you will be welcome. Sure, let's accept it, because I'm curious how combat works. I've been avoiding it by choosing Kali's options, but let's see here. The tall warrior nods, satisfied. I will be your adversary. Who will be mine? This is not a duel to the death. The chosen squad member must display strategy or brute force. Okay, so if I choose Sin, this could have negative consequences. The agile diplomat, the audacious captain. Oh man. So they're warning me that he's defeatist. I'm not sure what that means, but it might mean that he'll end up killing his opponent. So let's go with the captain. Kali sounds like the one who's going to be in favor of non-violence. Maybe not the best choice for this. Okay, so Petra circles, analyzes. Let's prepare to dodge. The savage warrior launches himself at his target, but his attack is easily dodged. Draw him over towards a rotten floorboard. Is that a thing? Let's try that. Squad member carefully retreats. Savage pursues his target, but the floorboard gives way and his leg is stuck. The combat ends with total immobilization of the adversary. The savage warrior declares forfeit, overwhelmed by the squad member's strategy. Okay, so I wonder, like, would I've had the same options with another squad member but different outcomes? Or what? Okay, the savages acknowledge the squad's strength. They salute them with respect and humility. The squad members are welcomed into the refuge, which suddenly takes on a warmer and more welcoming aspect. The savages and the Hound prove to be amicable. The squad members can stop over here before resuming their journey. The squad is remotivated. Oh, check it out! I think they've all got suns, or like full moons. These are moons. They've got full moons instead of gibbous moons. So that is their morale, and it's like super high. Like, hey everybody, we're happy to be here, thanks. Oh, you're all wonderful. Let's come over here and see if we can rob you blind. So no one might suggest that if this is how they are, then maybe the word savages is misapplied. The word savage is always misapplied. There really aren't people for whom that term is appropriate. Okay, so I've got this whole part of the house I can wander around in. I don't know. So the thing I have not learned is if there's a way that I can control the camera. It seems like not. Oh, look. Can I just take their food? Is that a thing? I'm just going to say that's a thing. It's so interesting they decided to depict people as these shadows. It's like the story isn't really being shown to me, it's being narrated to me. And so they're like deliberately making it so that I'm not trying to see the world as being representative of what's happening in the story. Like they're putting these little hints and sketches around me, but if they went too far with trying to depict the characters, then I might expect them to animate and talk to me and have cutscenes and stuff like that. And so they're like holding back on that and just suggesting the presence of people so that the sketches of this world feel appropriate, but they're not trying to like 100% depict exactly what's going on. It almost feels like some of the old like Zork-like adventure games that were illustrated back in like the early 80s, where, you know, you'd have an image associated with a place and the image wouldn't show you the events that are going on. It would just set the stage. And this feels like it's actually that type of game just brought up into sort of like into the modern era. Like this feels like I'm playing like an illustrated Zork-like game, or like I think there was a Hobbit game that I played when I was a kid. Like I think it feels like I'm playing one of those. Like the imagery, like the world, the physical world is not really here to be part of the gameplay. It's here to be a background for a story that's being told in a choose your own adventure kind of way. But kind of like something like Zork, for instance, it's got, you know, an inventory. It's got, you know, it's got systems that you're managing at the same time that it's got the story that you're being told. It's not only the story. There's more to it than that. So a surprisingly organized group of savages. So this is just explaining who the Hound are. Cool. Okay, so this place is circular. How do I get out? And is time passing as I wander in circles? Okay, we found the food. That's great. Maybe let's go back into the main room and there'll be a different way out. Okay, yeah, this is probably the way out. No one might confirms that my memory of there being a Hobbit game like Zork is accurate. And it was a game that, like, I think that the images would actually be, the illustrations were actually drawn out on the screen. It's almost like they programmed how to draw the lines, and the game would just sort of like draw it up. It was actually a really innovative visual approach that game had, especially considering how early it was. Day 15. The members of the third squad leave the mansion. The Hound waves them off. Knowing that such friendly encounters are possible remotivates the squad members, but the road ahead of them is still long. Okay, so it looks like it's analyzing my choices. And saying that I'm a level-headed unit, blah, blah, blah. And then we're emissaries. We're optimists. Okay, so this is like saying, like, what approach we use. Like, this is the sort of, like, who we are and what we do. And this is sort of our feelings about, or like our morals, our attitude about the world. Interesting. Okay, let's continue. But actually, I have been streaming this for half an hour. So, and I think we've gotten a nice taste of what kind of game this is. And so maybe that's kind of as far as we need to go right now. Let's see what the setup is for the next section. Leave it for a nice cliffhanger, but I think we'll end the episode after we get started here. So Every John says, what the heck is this video game? Never seen it before. This is Ashwalkers, a survival journey. So yeah, it is a... Oh, I was answering your question. I didn't see the text. I thought it would wait for me to click. I have no idea what's going on now. We're in the volcanic tundra. That seems like that communicates a lot about the kind of place this is. And there's nothing around us. Oh, wait. There's something right up. Let's go see what this is, and then we'll be done. Large feathers. An enormous bird passed this way. It must be formidable indeed to survive this environment. The squad should take care. All right, interesting. Okay, well, there's your cliffhanger. There's the thing to sort of make you wonder what's going to go on here. And okay, so we're in the volcanic tundra. According to data collected from the other beacons, the squad should be able to find the next beacon in this vicinity. So, will the squad find the next beacon? It's impossible to know unless you get Ashwalkers. So, if you have Amazon Prime, this game is free from Amazon Games right now. So, you can go and check it out. That's where I got it. And I am interested to see, where it goes from here. So, and Every John is right that this does feel like it's more of a choose your own adventure type story than a sort of a typical survival game. Like most survival games tend to be fairly light on the story because they're all about you telling your own story with the mechanics of how you're going to survive. And this game feels like it's got those mechanics to sort of underpin it and sort of give you something to engage with on that systems level. But a lot of it And they're trying to give you granular enough choices that like people can have genuinely very different playthroughs with different resources spent in different ways. And you can really feel like your playthrough is different from somebody else's. If a game is only about those branching choose your own adventure choices, you get the sense that you're having a playthrough that is very much like everyone else's. But when you have also management decisions to make behind the scenes, that adds a degree of subtlety to the game that really makes your playthrough feel like it's your own. And it looks like, they evaluated me not just on, like I can at least evaluate myself, not just on those very binary choices that I make, the game presents to me, but also on my other strategic choices, like whether or not, for instance, the fact that I had 4 wood to spend making a fire to chase those wolves off is because I was conserving that wood. I didn't waste it at a previous opportunity. And so I get to feel like, oh, I was clever. I'm glad that I conserved. That got me past those wolves, and my characters are in much better shape because of it. And I was able to make, other choices later based on how well that went. Even though I guess we did all get injured. So I don't know if it actually went as well as it could. I bet that the other choice, if we just had Kali yell at the wolves, that probably would have resulted in further injuries. I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it for now, so let's wrap up this video. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, there's going to be a button right there for people who watch later on YouTube. I'll put some links to other games over here so you can click on them if you want to.